old episode of Star Trek, the one about parallel universes where Kirk is wearing a vest, Spock has a goatee, and Uhura is practically naked? I found myself thinking about that episode, my late Grandpa David's favorite, in the delivery room where I was giving birth to my third child, as the loud wails of, "Motherfucker, shit, fuck Jesus, fucking holy shit, ah, I can't fucking take this fucking cunt-ass motherfucker!" came shooting out from the room next door. Huh, listen to that, I said to my husband. Paul, who'd been trying to nap in a chair, pulled the Times off his face. Maybe she has Tourette's, he said. The nurse came in to check my vital signs. I couldn't understand, I told her, in this day and age of advanced pain relief, why anyone would choose not to get the epidural. What's not to understand, said Paul. Someone can get off on the martyrdom. The nurse let out a chuckle. Not this one, she said with the potty mouth next door. Trust me, she's feeling no pain. I saw the needle go in myself. But she's 16. Teenagers always get the epidural. And they always scream. Really? I said, why? I don't know, said the nurse. They just do. They must copy it from the TV or something. Fuck this shit! Yelled the girl. I hope you don't have to share a room with her, I said to Paul. I bet you know where this story's going. Chimed the next walkie-talkie. Yo, bitch, bring me a motherfucking Big Mac. I can't eat this hospital shit and some fries. I need some motherfucking fries. Fuck that shit. How'd that work? Your mother's still in jail? No. So tell her to get off her fucking ass and bring it to you, bitch. I'm busy. Did you call Wick yet? You better fucking call Wick or you ain't getting no free formula. A baby, not mine, began to wail. Damn, the baby's crying. I'll call you back. These are the sounds to which I woke, disoriented after an hour or so of deep post-birth sleep in the hospital room I now shared with a dark-haired 16-year-old I'll call Maria. Wanting to be neighborly, to prove to both myself and to Maria that differences in age, race, and mobile roaming devices would not stand in the way of a friendly discourse between postpartum mothers, I pulled myself out of bed and walked around the curtain separating her side of the room from mine. Hi, I said. I'm your roommate. Okay, so maybe I just wanted to tell her that I existed and that her walkie-talkie was really bleeping loud. Yo, said the girl in a monotone without meeting my eye. She had one hand on her son's isolette, which she was trying to shake into submission, while the other worked the buttons of the TV remote. What's his name? I said, glancing in the direction of the isolette. Fernando. She settled on a soap opera and began to watch. He's beautiful, I said. How are you feeling? Maria shrugged. Gotta love those squirt bottles they give you to go to the bathroom, huh? I was trying way too desperately to connect. Okay, well, if you need anything. Maria, who clearly wanted to put a punctuation mark on our conversation, turned up the soap opera until it was blasting. I tried to imagine what was going through her head. Go away came to mind, as did die, yuppie scum. And why not? I was a 40-year-old married mother of 3. She was a single high school student, only 5 years older than my eldest. I was at the end of my fertility cycle. She was just getting started. And as broke as my family was, I was never going to need to call WIC benefits to feed my baby, and we both knew that. Well, see ya, I said, and I slunk back into my half of the room, checked that Leo was still breathing, covered my head with a pillow, and tried to sleep. 5 minutes later, the Nextel duet began afresh. Yo, bitch. Yo, bitch, what up? Your parents still freaking? Nah, they was crazy mad when they found out, but they okay now. I mean, what are they gonna do right here now? What about Fernando? Shit, he was like fucking crazy mad too, and I mean crazy fucking mad. At first you told me to get rid of it, like you didn't want to take care of it. Shit. But I think he's down with it now. He better fucking be down with it. I named the baby after him. You coming to the hospital or what? Over the next few hours, each one of Maria's friends, around 20 or so in all, bleeped in on their Nextels, all of them wanting to know more or less the same information, most of them saying that they would drop by to see the baby at some point later that evening. Meanwhile, Fernando Sr., the baby's father, arrived with 3 bagfuls of McDonald's burgers and fries, followed by his and Maria's posse, all of whom wanted to see the baby and eat the fries and greet each other with vulgar epithets. I stared at one-day-old Leo sleeping peacefully in his isolette. I pictured one-day-old Fernando sleeping peacefully in his. I mentally fast-forwarded through their parallel lives, watching each of them through infancy, first steps, school, adulthood, and decline, as if witnessing it all in time-lapse photography. And then, blame postpartum hormones and a realist clairvoyance, I started to cry. Of course the teenagers scream, I thought, even when they get the epidural. How else to deal with hurtling headfirst into the universe of motherhood too soon? I vowed to keep my mouth shut and let Maria have her moment in the sun. My compassion dissolved around 9:30 that night as the party grew rowdier, the TV blared, and the stink of rotting fries could no longer be ignored. I pulled myself out of bed and peeked my head around the curtain once again. 10 or so kids were scattered along the windowsill at the edge of Maria's bed, hanging out and watching the Mets noisily slaughter the Yankees. This one sat on that one's lap in the lone chair. A few were drinking sodas that didn't smell like sodas. If not for the venue and the sight of the young girl trying to get her wailing baby to take his bottle in the midst of the chaos, it was just your average workaday teen gathering. And I was about to be the killjoy. Please, I said. I didn't explain that I'd been on bed rest or in labor for 6 weeks, or that I was at the end of my rope, or that the Percocet wasn't doing much to dull the pain between my legs. I simply reminded the group that visiting hours had been over at 8, and that I'd already let that fact slide for an hour and a half without complaint. I don't mean to be a party pooper, I said, but I was up all night giving birth. I'm 40 years old. I need to sleep. Maria glared at me with no lack of venom. Yo, bitch, she said. I'm just trying to feed my baby. Okay, I thought, if that's the way you're going to be about it, bitch, then I formally declare war. I grabbed Leo's isolette and pushed it into the white glare of the corridor. With my now screaming baby in tow, I approached the nurse's station. I'm sorry, I said, but I need your help. My roommate still has her friends over, and they're being really loud. I know, no one likes a tattletale, but what were my other options? The nurse on duty, who looked and sounded like an older, more weathered version of Maria, rolled her eyes. You should have asked for a private room then. This was, it's safe to say, not the response I was hoping for. But neither was, yo, bitch, I'm just trying to feed my baby. Had I stepped into a parallel universe of my own, one where people like me were not invited? I said, I couldn't afford a private room. I didn't mean for my voice to go up at the end like a teenager's, but that's the thing about parallel universes. Once you're there, it infects you. You start growing goatees, wearing vests. The nurse rolled her eyes again. Clearly, she was making socioeconomic assumptions based on my appearance. I was white and middle-aged, therefore I must be hoarding buckets of cash. I was consequently making those same kind of assumptions about her. She was Latino and working the night shift. For all I knew, she'd been a teenage mother herself. Therefore, she was taking her fellow Chola aside. Please, I said, I'm so tired. We're a bit busy right now, said the nurse, but I'll see what I can do. I pushed the isolette back into the noisy room and offered my breast to wailing Leo. About an hour or so later, just before 11 p.m., the nurse walked into my room and with a, come on kids, it's time to go home, finally shut down the party. No sooner had the visitors left, however, when Maria turned up the volume on her TV. Maria, I moaned plaintively from my side of the room, please, can you turn it down just a notch? It's really loud. Maria turned up the volume even louder. I resolved to be Christ-like, to feel compassion and empathy for all the creatures of God while simultaneously turning the other cheek. Then I thought, fuck it, I'm a Jew, and went postal. Jesus, I yelled, I've been in labor for 6 weeks, I have to sleep, and so do you. Our babies are going to be up again in a few hours to eat. Trust me on this one, I know, please. Maria, ever the teenager, turned up the TV a notch louder. I trudged back to the nurse's station. Hi, I said to the nurse. At least this time I didn't expect any sympathy. It's me again. Hi, can I help you? She said in a tone implying anything but. I'm sorry to keep bothering you, but it's my roommate again, I said. She's playing her TV really loud, and it's nearly midnight. Nothing I can do about that, the nurse said with a smile.